Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. In today's video we are going to be talking about Echeveria Peach Pride. Now the funny thing is that I was browsing to purchase this succulent and I didn't know that I already have this succulent. It was in my rain gutter. I'll put up the image on the screen. And it was a coincidence. I happened to put it on Instagram to ask for the ID and somebody told me it could be Echeveria Peach Pride. Now I knew over here, as you can see on the screen, the Echeveria Peach Pride was in less light, due to which you can see all of the leaves were glossy. They were not much color because the plant was not getting a lot of light. This is another sign the succulent gives you when the leaves turn glossy, is when it is not getting a good amount of light. So what I did is, after that I took the plant out from the rain gutter and I put it in this pot. It's been a couple of weeks that I have been acclimating this succulent. It is a very slow process. It still is in the process of getting completely acclimated. It is not completely acclimated yet. Never expedite your process of acclimating because in order to get those colors on your succulent, you might end up scarring the succulent, because if the acclimation process is not done properly, there could be a lot of scars on your succulent. Then those scars are going to be permanent on the leaves and it is going to look really terrible. Now when I was acclimating it, I made a small little mistake, and you can see, luckily it is the lowest leaf. It happened to get burnt because of too much of sun. So as you can see, it can happen. In case if this would have happened on the upper leaf, it would have looked so terrible. But luckily it's the lower leaf. I'm not going to do anything with that lower leaf. I'm going to leave it as it is. As and when the plant will grow, it will dry off and it will fall off automatically. I will not try to pull it out, because even if I try to pull it out and try to propagate it, the chances of it getting propagated is very less, because half of the leaf is already dry. And remember, as we have already spoken about this, the leaf has to be fresh, well hydrated, and should not be yellow or should not be dry, or there should not be much scars on the leaf when you're using it for leaf propagation. So overall the succulent is doing quite well. A lot of the colors have started to come back. This is I would say probably 20% of how the succulent actually looks like. There is a lot of work that is still pending on it. There is a lot of color that is yet to come on the succulent, which will happen gradually. We do not need to hurry on this process. Remember, if you are in a hurry to acclimate and put your succulent out in order to get that beautiful color, it may or may not get the beautiful color, but it will definitely get a lot of scars by the sunburn. So you have to be extremely careful. Please don't be in a hurry. It's your succulent. It will slowly and generally start to put out the color as and when it is getting adjusted and acclimated. Once it is completely acclimated, once it's completely out in morning direct sunlight, when you tend to reduce the water a little bit and give a little bit of more morning sunlight, the colors will start to appear. Go very slow with your succulents. Do not be in a hurry. Remember, we are not in a competition. It is your succulent. You have to be very slow and gentle with your succulents, otherwise they will get burnt. So now my Peach Pride is almost there. It has been kind of acclimated to morning direct sunlight. I am now slowly starting to increase it, probably to 4 to 5 hours of morning direct sunlight, and eventually I will keep it in morning direct sunlight completely. So far the succulent is responding really well to the acclimation. Just one of the leaf has got damaged, which is absolutely okay. The major portion of the succulent is doing quite well. I hope that it gets a lot of beautiful color. Usually the edges tend to turn really bright orangish in color, with the lower leaves being a little bit more green in color or yellowish in color. Looks absolutely beautiful, but all we have to do is have patience, let the succulent do its thing on its own. Now talking about the care requirements, it's a pretty simple to grow succulent. If you are a beginner, you can definitely add it in your collection. Remember, this is a thin leaved succulent. It does not store a lot of water in the leaves, so you have to give the care according to that. The soil remains the same, which is loose, porous and well draining. Keep it lean in nutrients. Do not add too much of fertilizers. Right now during winters, it is dormant because it's from the genus of Echeveria. During summers, it's going to be in its growing period. Water only when the soil is completely bone dry. If you're going to water it too much, or if you're not going to let the soil dry, and if you're going to water it before that, there could be root rot or there could be overwatering. ensure that the upper layer to the bottom layer soil is completely bone dry, and then do a complete watering until the water starts passing through the drain hole. Now guys, this is a thin leaved succulent. As I've said, please do not keep this succulent underwatered excessively. The leaves will start getting wrinkles, the leaves will start to drop because it does not have a lot of space to store water. Even though the size of the leaves are very big, but you can see they are very flat, so they cannot store a lot of water. So you need to have a balanced watering. You cannot do overwatering, you cannot do underwatering excessively. Now talking about pest, at times you might see mealybugs on this succulent, so ensure that you do a routine check once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks. If there is a bloom stalk, if the bloom stalk is of no use to you, you can cut it off, because otherwise it will pull out the energy from the mother plant. Also, it can attract aphids and mealybugs. Talking about dormancy, it goes dormant during the winters, and summer is their growing period. Propagation is pretty simple. This is one of the Echeveria that will have an evident stem. You can do a stem cutting, you can do a leaf propagation, or you can separate the offsets once they reach a decent size. Always remember, the pup has to be of a decent size, anywhere above 3 centimeter. If the pup is about 3 centimeter, you can separate the offset. I had done the pup separation some time back because it was a little bigger one. So you can see it's doing quite well. This is one of the best method to propagate your peach pride, or any Echeveria for that matter. If they have a decent size pup, that tends to work out really well. So overall, this succulent is very easy for beginners. It is going to work out really well. If you want a very beautiful big leafed, thin leafed succulent, then Echeveria Peach Pride is your answer. You can go ahead and purchase this succulent and add it in your collection. It is going to do wonders. If you're going to give it a good amount of morning direct sunlight, the colors are going to become even more vibrant. This succulent can also do quite well in indirect but bright light. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.